right. Hi, everyone. It's me, Contrary Motion, back again with another edition of Suikogaiden Sundays. We're back with Volume 2 of Suikogaiden. So we've done the part of Nash's story that goes in parallel with Suikogaiden 2, and now we have the part that forms a little bridge between Suikogaiden 2 and Suikogaiden 3. He's off on his journey to Crystal Valley, or the Crystal Ballet. And we'll head through the grasslands and Caleria and eventually finally see our little bit of Crystal Valley and his ultimate confrontation with Zaj. So this time it seems like doing the alternate path does not deny us the proper ending. So we're going to try to do that. We're going to accumulate as many luck points as we can. This means that we're going to miss the dragon encounter, including Olan punching the dragon. But what can you do? If you want to see that, you can go look at the last time we played through this one. All right, so hopefully this will all work because I've set up the memory cards correctly. So let's... Oh! And as I say that, we have to watch the intro, of course. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to reset the game, but there we go. Always makes me nervous when it takes this long to boot. But it should be all right. There we go. We got to get our copyright hit for using the theme song, after all. Well... I tried turning down the encoder one more time. There are no more notches to turn it down, but we've still got some crackles, so I guess we'll have to live with it. Oh, fudge. So, we'll be able to see Vicky and Meg and Millie's story this time, instead of Futch and Humphrey's story. And I suppose next time we do the first volume, we'll have to do the alternate path. Also, we're gonna hang out with the Lamp Dragon bandits this time instead of with Miklatov and Kumu. All right. Let's get to it and hope this works properly. As soon as I do load the data, I'm going to switch over to our other save cartridge. All right, 74%. That's everything, yes? Episode 1, Pride. Oh, I haven't changed our game over. It's been 3 months since the war between the Highland Kingdom and the Cutie Army ended. As for me, in exchange for successfully accomplishing the task of helping Greenhill drive off Highland's forces, my records with the guards were erased, hopefully making me untraceable. Now I'm on my way to my hometown, the capital of Harmonia, Crystal Valley. I don't know exactly what's waiting for me there, but I can't postpone settling matters with Zaj any longer. Starting from the city of Tinto. Alright, sorry. I'm gonna... That's not what I want to do. Let's save our state here and swap out the memory cards while we're at it, and I think that I'm going to try changing the audio driver, because that crackle is too much this time. God, I actually don't know how to change this to make it work. I think we still want async. Let's try this and see if it runs any better. Sorry about this, but that crackle was gonna drive me crazy. All right, let's see if this is any better. That seems a lot better. I know you can't see it. Let's fix that. All right. Oh, that's not really any better. All right, let's try one more thing before we give up. All right, that does not seem significantly better. So we're going to try, all right, one more thing. This is so fun for everybody. Oh, that's an interesting proposition. What happens if we increase the buffer? Well, apparently nothing. Ugh, that's so irritating. All right, one more try. Sorry, I should have figured this out earlier. Oh, can't do that. Last attempt. Alright, that doesn't seem to do anything either, so we're going to go back to the second option because it seemed to be the least bad. Oh. Never mind, I think I found a different solution. Perhaps. It may not sound quite as nice, but we'll see. Let's go. Oh, I think it just crashed. Maybe that won't work. Let's try that one more time. Hey, C-Unit. Oh, well, they're definitely worth playing and watching. There's a pretty good fan translation of both of them. Alright, so let's see here. That's just me moving the window. Oh, that's significantly better. Even though it doesn't quite sound the same. I think this is actually more like what the PlayStation sounds like. So I think we're going to stick with this. And maybe I'll change my other sound emulation in the future. Alright, so let's bring this back so you can see it. Alright. And double check to see that our save file is still here. Okay. We seem to be good. Alright. So, back to Nash. Starting from the city of Tinto and going through the grasslands, it should take about 2 weeks to reach Harmonian territory. I should reach the Defense Forces headquarters in Caleria about a week after that. Before crossing the mountains ahead, I decide to stop at a small village. Hopefully I can get some food and medicine here. So Nash is making his way through the grasslands. Huh? Things seem rather busy. Street vendors are everywhere in the village. The villagers are also crowding the place, smiling and having fun. Excuse me, do you have a minute? Yes, how can I help you? The village seems quite lively. Are you having a festival or something? A festival, huh? It's a little different from that. When the frost thaws and the green starts sprouting again, everyone in the village comes together for a lively feast. We call it the Hoof and Grass Flute Fest. Judging by your clothes, I take it you're not from around here? Alright, so now we gotta start looking at our little, thingamajig here. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit now that the sound isn't so bad. So we want to go with, luck points where we can get them, and if we can't get them, then I guess we'll go with secret points, although we won't be able to see the dragon scene, because we're not going to do that path this time. As I said, if you want to see the dragon stuff, you can watch my last playthrough of this on the YouTube. Yeah, I came from the city-states. The city-states? Then... You're with the cutie army? Huh? No, I'm not with them. Why do you ask? It's nothing. Never mind. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have cooking to do. Wait a... Sadly, I didn't get to hear her name, but the feast can't start until she served up her cooking, I guess. Just remembering my travels so far makes my stomach growl, so I'm not one to interrupt. This feast sure has a great variety of stalls, selling everything from food, clothing, and souvenirs. To no second half of that sentence. Well, it's a serviceable fan translation. I was easily able to get the equipment and food I needed for the journey across the mountain. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get hold of any medicine, the most important item. The Huff and Grass Festival? Yep, that's right. They go around following a band in a covered wagon or whatever you would follow them in. Suddenly, I noticed that there was a big crowd in the town square. I have time. Why don't I go and take a quick look? Oh, I'm so glad this solved the sound crackling. Some traveling entertainers are performing their arts for money. It doesn't appear to be a regular part of the festivities.
Alright, it's time for the next part of the show. Let's see. Alright. Hey, you there. You, the guy with the blonde hair.
Huh? You mean me?
Who else would I mean? On a day like this, if you're that immersed in the show, you'll lose your wallet.
Huh? I checked my wallet to make sure. Seems okay. Everyone around me is checking their wallets as well.
Was everything okay? Okay, no more delays. Why don't you help me out here? It's a simple matter. Come.
Me?
It's decided. Well, come over here.
As soon as she said this, the girl pulled my arm and put me in front of a tree. I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, everyone, your attention. It's time for the famous and beautiful Ailey, the Master Knife Thrower.
Oh no.
Watch carefully as she uses her amazing skills to accomplish this remarkable feat.
Knife thrower. Don't tell me I'm the target.
My. Don't tell me a big guy like you's afraid of a little knife.
Okay, so we want luck points. Actually...
Sheesh, it's too late to back out now. Show a little courage. Let's see your good side.
What do you mean, show some courage? I don't want it. A slender girl came walking up to me with a smile on her face, carrying a small, unripe watermelon in her hands. She kind of looks like Ailey, the knife thrower. Is this her sister? The girl put the watermelon on my head and whispered softly in my ear. I'm sorry, that girl is just impossible. Just don't move. She's looking a little off today. What? Don't worry. I have some very good medicine available. That's not the problem here.
Alright, here we go.
It's impossible for me to escape now. I decided to grit my teeth and prepare for the worst. Ailey carefully begins to aim. Alright, so we're going for luck points, so we gotta move.
Ah!
The knife grazed my left cheek, sinking into the tree. If I hadn't moved...
Well, I guess it turned out alright.
Hey, can we stop now? I just remembered something I've gotta do.
It'll be fine, stop worrying so much. This one'll hit for sure.
Ailey's got a dangerous look in her eyes. This is serious. I can tell if she misses now. A round of applause rose up from the audience. The knife had safely pierced its target. I breathed a sigh of relief as I looked at Ailey and her friends.
Okay, applause, applause! Please pass your tips over here.
Thank you very much. That was Ailey the knife thrower.
I've been Ailey the knife thrower.
Thank you very much. If you'd like, I could tell you your fortune.
She's really strong-willed. Before I knew it, they'd been surrounded by the audience. By the looks of it, they're going to start their next performance. I can't bear the idea of being the target again. Quietly, I left the area. That was quite a disaster. Who's this? Oh. That was quite a disaster. I turned around, catching two men standing off to the side, one of which flashes a charming smile in my direction. I had a pretty hard time of it, even if I told you how bad she was. I think that's part of her show. To barely miss on the first try and then succeed on the second. The audience really enjoys it. I see, so that's how it is. And here all that cold sweat was for nothing.
Looks like those girls are the same as ever, even when us knights are watching them.
Those girls? You've met those performers before?
That's right. I'm Miklatov and this is Camus. We fought together with those girls in the war.
Camus and Miklatov? Part of the core of the Cutie Army, originally of the Matilda Knights? Then you're... Oh, there you are, another mystery person. Geez, I was looking all over for you. Who is this? Oh, it's Ailey. Huh?
If it isn't Camus and Miklatov. You know this guy?
We just met, actually. Your name is... Oh, it's Nash. Nash Latchkey.
Nash, huh? Well then, let's go. I just saw a stand selling some tasty-looking cheese pastries.
Huh? What the hell for?
It's for earlier. I messed up, right? It's an apology. Come on, let's go. Camus, Miklatov, see you later.
Oh, right. Really, the same as ever. I like our new little loading screen. Except for how long it's up there. We spent the time before the feast walking around the bustling village, stuffing our faces with cheese pastries from the stalls. She seems to be enjoying herself. I have to say, I like this kind of atmosphere. As we made idle conversation, Ailey led me to the edge of the village. Looking down from the only village on the plateau, the view spread out below us as Looking down from the only village on the plateau, the view spread out below us as exceptional.
What do you think? Pretty good spot, right?
Yeah, it's got a great atmosphere. A place that can wash away all your worries. By the way, have you guys been traveling performers for very long?
Uh-huh. Rena's my big sister. She's a fortune teller. Then there's Bolgan. He's a fire breather. We've always traveled together.
Okay, what do we want here? It technically doesn't matter. So I think we're gonna say, isn't it tough living as travelers?
It is pretty tough, but Sis is really helpful, and Bolgan's always smiling. Thanks to that, I hardly ever notice how hard it is.
I see. It must be nice to have comrades to travel with.
Do you always travel by yourself?
Yeah. Well, I'm the kind of guy who feels the most at ease by himself. Where are you guys from? You're not from the city-states, are you?
We were born in the grasslands.
Do you ever go back there? To your home?
You say home, but we don't really have a home here. Or people waiting for us either. So, as for a place to return to, well, we've got pretty strong ties with the Cutie Army's HQ in Yang Castle.
Place to return to, huh? Hey, Ailey. A place to return to someday, like Final Fantasy IX, right? Okay, we have to see if this choice makes any difference. I was in the city-states around that time.
Huh? Really?
Well, I say I was there. It might be more accurate to say I was trying to keep an eye on the Highland Army, and ended up running around all over the place.
What's up with that? Are you some kind of thief or something?
Hey, you got it all wrong.
Well, we should be heading back
We should be heading back soon.
Yeah. Sis's fortune-telling should be gathering customers soon.
Ailey suddenly stopped talking, staring frozen at a spot below the plateau, where a road ran down the valley. What is it?
I thought that was a trading caravan, but it's not, is it?
I look down toward the valley. Through a break in the grove of trees, I catch a glimpse of a group of figures on horseback. In each of their hands is a weapon.
Oh, so they finally showed up.
Huh? Who are you?
Old Gustav asked us to come out here to find out if the legendary Keepers of the Flame really have shown up, see? Looks like we didn't come for nothing.
That name the man behind me had just said just now. The group known as the Keepers of the Flame are really well known in the grasslands. So these are the Firebringer. From what I've told, they fought head-to-head with Harmonia's regional army 60 years ago, and even snuck into the One Temple and stole a true rune. Since I've come here, I've been hearing a lot of unbelievable stories like that. On top of that, the leader of that gang of bandits held the true fire rune and became known as the Fire Hero, the Flame Champion. But that story's more than 50 years old. To have recent rumors of the Keepers of the Flame sightings along the border, are they really... And you are?
What? You never heard of the great Gijimu of the Lamp Dragon Mountain?
Gijimu?
Gijimu, it's you. How have you been?
It's a little missy. You look like you're doing good.
Another acquaintance, huh? These guys sure know a lot of people. We too came to acquire information on the rumors of bandits raiding the vicinity, so to run into you is a stroke of luck. Camus? When did you... Anyway, looks like we better hurry. Alright, Ailey's group should help the villagers find refuge. The forest to the north should be good.
Got it.
Right, then for the rest of us... The sound of an explosion came from the direction of the village entrance. Looking over there, we saw a huge pillar of fire rising up. The strength of that rune. It couldn't really be the power of a true rune, could it?
They're coming!
Right as Miklatov shouted, the bandits rushed into the village. The square overflowed with screams as the villagers and travelers fell into a panic. The bandits split into two groups at the entrance, and the sound of hooves began to echo around the square. Aren't there women and children here? These guys are really bad.
Hey, you're coming too, right, Lowen? Now, we got a lot of things to do. I don't know if they're really the Keepers of the Flame, but I got a bone to pick with these guys, and they're really gonna be sorry. Hey, Red and Blue, what are you guys gonna do? I'm guessing I'm looking at some extra hands. Of course. If we didn't protect the people, what kind of knights would we be?
What will you do, Sir Nash? I'm coming with you, of course. I'm used to trouble. Looks like Gijimu and Camus will split into two teams. Well then, which group should I go with? Anybody care? It doesn't technically make a difference. I believe we went with Camus and Miklatov last time, so if there are no objections, I think we'll go with Gijimu this time. Alright, Gijimu it is. I have to say, they grew on me in the last playthrough of Suikoden 2.
Alright, buddy. Then follow me.
I think I need to turn my mic down a little bit. I keep peeking at doing his voice. Alright. They do. Yeah, I'll be working with you. On that note, I'm Nash. Together with Gijimu's gang, I dive into the street from the left of the square. Judging from the sounds, the bandits are in a building. We can't afford to attack carelessly here. As you'd expect from bandits. They start swarming wherever there's money.
It's gonna be fatal for these guys.
I like Koyu. Turns out he's actually pretty good. Who would have guessed?
Alright, don't screw up, guys.
It's like they don't even hear me. Gijimu went to stand imposingly at the inn's entrance. Koyu and Lo Wen rushed down the building's side streets. What the hell are these guys thinking? Before I could discuss any plan, Gijimu raised up a pair of axes and started throwing caustic remarks at the bandits inside.
Hey, you bastards! Trying to steal money from these poor villagers, you're worse than dogs! If you're thieves, then act like thieves. Try picking on someone your own size. Huh? What are you talking about, you shithead? Ever heard of survival of the fittest? We take things from weak villagers. Isn't that the law of God?
The divine law, I think, is what they really mean.
Puh. Don't use God as an excuse. If you bastards are attacking weak villagers, then you're the ones who are weak, don't you think? What'd you say? Why don't you come here and find out if I'm weak or not? Come on!
The match was decided in an instant. Gijimu loomed over the bandit and spat in his face right between his closed eyes.
Alright, come out all the rest of you trash. Your opponent's the great Gijimu, oldest of the Lamp Dragon trio.
You damn bastard! Like hell I'm letting you get away with that.
The remaining bandits inside tried to come at Gijimu all at once. But the inn's entryway wasn't all that big, so the bandits were forced to come out one by one like a kung fu movie.
Ugh!
One after another, the bandits came out, each of them getting beaten down by Gijimu's 2 axes. It should have been countless bandits facing off against Gijimu, but instead it was practically a one-on-one fight.
Hey, Nash. I'm doing fine over here, so go help out Lo Wen and Koyu.
Got it. I left Gijimu behind and headed for the inn's back door. When I got there, Lo Wen and Koyu were already in the middle of a fight against a bandit.
And that's gonna be one bandit down. The great Koyu of the Lamp Dragon Mountain will make you taste divine punishment. Koyu, don't get carried away.
As Koyu distracts the bandit, Lo Wen raises an iron ball and chain, bringing down the finishing blow. It's a stunning display of teamwork. Given the situation, is it ever going to be my turn? Do they have a unite attack? I can't remember. I know all 3 of the bandits do, but did the 2 of them have one? It seems like the guys who came out have given up and barricaded themselves inside instead. I hear you. Koyu, you stay here. Nash and I are going on a raid.
Agreement confirmed.
With Koyu's quick reply, Lo Wen tosses her iron ball and chain at the back door. The bandits flinch at the impact, and in that short pause I rush in through the door.
bastards!
They're not bad, but they've lost their confidence, so their fighting spirit's been cut in half.
Oh, not bad. I really like you mischievous types.
The hallway is a bed of mass confusion as we finish off the bandits, staking Gijumu at the entryway as our goal. When we get there, Gijumu's expression changes and he jumps in towards us.
This is bad. They've got reinforcements coming.
What?
How many?
I hate to say it, but about 10. And this time we're stuck like mice in a trap.
We've got trouble. The back door's blocked. What's wrong with you guys? You two rascals are full of danger and trouble. Isn't that sort of stuff exactly what you shouldn't be saying? This is a disgrace to the Lamp Dragon Bandits.
When the reinforcements appear, our positions will be completely reversed. If we don't somehow find a way out of this. I hurriedly looked around the bar. There's a bunch of wine casks located in the corner of the room, probably prepared for the feast. Cannigan wine, South Sea gin, both pretty strong alcohols. Hey, guys! Oh, do we think the South Sea is the Island Nations gin? Called the three over and started whispering our strategy to them.
Hey, you bandits over there, immoral bottom-rung underlings. Earlier you raised your hands against women and children, didn't you?
Lowen stood in the entryway, yelling loudly at the surrounding bandits.
What? Who are you?
Don't you know the great Lo Wen of the Lamp Dragon Trio? I'm not forgiving inhuman behavior like that, you bastards. I'm thinking of bringing down judgment on you.
I don't know how she got this accent, but I kind of like it for her.
What the hell are you saying? You're no better than us.
Okay, now.
Just as Lo Wen jumped aside at the signal, Gijumu and I used all our strength to throw the wine casks. Without a moment's delay, as the casks danced through the air, Lo Wen broke them open with her ball and chain. The impact caused wine to spray all over the bandits. Koyu!
Yo!
Oh my god! Next, Koyu threw live coals at them, causing the scattered wine to burst into flame in the blink of an eye, engulfing the bandits in flames.
You're in a real mess now. This is heaven's punishment for trampling on your conscience.
Shit! I'll remember this!
Will they? I mean, they're pretty on fire.
Awkward guys like that, they're so forgettable they're already forgotten.
It's a weird turn of phrase.
Hey, you're overdoing it.
Idiot still talking like that.
Kono baka.
What was that?
We looked toward the sound of the explosion and saw a gigantic pillar of fire rising up by the central square. It can't be there.
Either way, we've come this far already. Those guys are the keepers of the flame, that's fine with me. When they're done messing up this place, they might try to make a pass at Tinto.
When we reached the main square, the area had tragically been reduced to ashes. Standing on that hideously charred ground, the two knights had apparently finished off the small fry and were already facing off against the invading bandit gang. I could count about 10 opponents, each readying weapons of their own. A man who seemed to be the leader of the bandits was standing in the center of the square. So, their leader's finally shown himself. The leader stood unmoved, and glancing at us assembled in the square, he opened his mouth to speak.
Ha ha! This is surprising. All those people from the cutie army in a remote village like this. It's no wonder my subordinates had so much trouble. If you know us, then talk fast. Leave this village quickly and get out of my sight. Then dissolve your band of thieves and never again cause trouble like this. And this is the grasslands, a free land. Who could possibly give us orders on how to live our lives?
I'll say this. At least you're good at talking, if nothing else.
Then are you saying you'd rather fight to the bitter end? Hey, you bastards are nothing but cowardly robbers. Acting all carefree like this, you really think you can do whatever you want?
Carefree is not really the word. Wild, I think, is the better translation for, I can't think of the phrase, but I know it somewhere in the back of my mind.
Calling us cowardly, that's an amusing thing to say. Then, what the cutie army has done couldn't be called cowardly as well. What did you say? That's crazy talk. What are you saying we did? Preaching insincere ideals while committing atrocities behind the scenes like the cowards you are. Do you expect the Keepers of the Flame to fear you?
Oops.
This is bad. Don't falter. They're encircling us.
We found ourselves standing back to back, defending from the bandits' offensive. Camus, Miklatov, and the mountain bandits' strength is certain, but I don't know if we can break this circle.
This is really bad. Crimson flames! Burn my enemies to ashes!
Damn it. Immediately, a huge pillar of fire rose up behind us. I get the feeling that in defending ourselves from the immediate threat, we've left out something bigger. The truth behind this magic, which has twice now made pillars of flame rise up in the village. Damn it! As soon as I found a gap, I slipped out of the bandit's circle, and keeping out of sight of surrounding eyes, drew close to the leader.
Such impudent behavior.
I expect you can use a sword. Magic can't be all you've got.
Of course I can. It would have been rather difficult to spread my name across this harsh land if I couldn't.
He accompanied his retort with a swing of his sword, which I fended off with a dagger. The moment our swords came together with a scattering of sparks, I shot a spike out of the sleeve of my free hand.
Ugh!
Gotcha.
Boss! Please get away from there now!
His subordinates start to intrude on our fight, killing my chances of making a finishing blow. This is bad luck again.
Keepers of the Flame, we will entrust our bodies to the fire. If we do so, the flames will surely become our strength.
The bandits all moved at once in their leader's shout, each of them pulling out a small talisman from the leather bags hanging at their waists. It can't be. I recognize the thieves' talismans. Canopy defense. Smaller than what we used back in Greenhill, they'd most likely have a narrower range of effect. In other words, they wouldn't be able to cover the whole team, but they'd protect the immediate area around the user. Which means... Crap. He's planning to use high-level magic.
What'd you say?
This is... Come to think of it, I've got a talisman. I took out the talisman I'd bought during the fair and began to concentrate. Wait, what? The talisman isn't activating? And the back of the leader's hand has already started glowing with a red light.
What are you doing? Hurry up and use the talisman.
I know! I concentrate one more time, trying to invoke the spell, But something's wrong. I can't sense anything from the talisman. Confused, I checked to make sure it was really a talisman. The hell? Looking more closely, the design on this canopy defense talisman was slightly different from normal. Just a little, but... Ugh, no wonder it was so cheap.
Did you lose money on that thing?
Well, this isn't good. Immediately after the leader invoked his spell, a red-hot fireball appeared between us and the bandits. The fireball gradually swelled with an ominous roar, its color changing brightly. Oh, this is some really dangerous magic. The fireball swallows up the bandits first, but thanks to the talismans in their hands, they act as if nothing happened. Without any way to counter the magic, we have no choice but to run away. Scatter! Hurry and run! Koyu and Lo Wen went left out of the main square, with Gijumu and Miklatov going right. Camus and I ran straight on through the square. During that time, the fireball expanded even faster, filling the entire square, searing my back with heat. Damn it! Just how far is it gonna spread?
Yeah!
I think that's an animal. Oh no, it's her. A woman had fallen in the alley. Oh, that's the girl from... We're coming! I changed course without a moment's delay, rushing toward the woman with Camus close behind. Oh, Maki!
Camus!
But the moment we tried to help her up, pain distorted her face.
Camus! Forget about me, hurry and run!
What are you saying? I'm not the kind of man to leave you here and run, you should know that. The fireball's approaching fast. The way things are going, I'm probably going to get swallowed up by that even more powerful fireball along with these two, ever more powerful. Isn't there anything I can do? That's it! They're still away! I rush over to one of the fallen bandits in the alleyway, hurriedly fumbling through the leather bag on his waist. Got it! Just as I thought, there was a talisman in the bag. Camus! Use this! I throw the talisman to Camus. But that's not enough. In order to defend ourselves, we'll need 3 talismans at least. But none of the other bandits lying scattered in the alleyway had a talisman in their bags. Damn it! You're supposed to give them to your whole team! If there's only one, that will be enough. No way. If we do that, there's 2 people going unprotected. When I finally got my hands on more talismans, it was already too late. The fireball swallowed up Camus and Maki in a giant blaze. Ah!
Those who challenge the Keepers of the Flame will all be burned to nothing by the fires of hell. We will return to this village tonight. From now on, you will abide by our rules.
From within the roaring maelstrom of fire, only the leader's awful, resounding voice could be heard. Well, I have to say, the Firebringer don't seem as nice as they do in Suikoden 3. When the leader of the Keepers of the Flame let loose his magic, the village square was completely destroyed, though luckily injuries were kept to a minimum thanks to Ailey's team evacuating the villagers. However...
How is he? How's he doing?
It's not good. He still hasn't regained consciousness. It seemed Camus had used practically all the talisman's power to protect Maki when they were swallowed up by the explosion. I'll take over nursing duty. You've got an injured leg after all, Miss Maki.
No, it's fine. It's because of me that Camus is like this.
There's no need to worry, Lady Maki.
If Camus and I were to fall to such an insignificant thing as this, then our training must have been very poor.
Yeah, but
Not even Miklatov's words could brighten Maki's face.
is Camus okay?
The medicine seems to be working. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
I see. That's good. Camus!
Maki. That's good. You're safe.
Yes, thanks to you. Thank you.
With Camus having regained consciousness, everyone that had crowded into the room was relieved.
This is great! For a moment there, I wasn't sure what to think. This is a huge relief.
By the way, Lady Maki, are you and Camus acquainted?
Yes, we're childhood friends. Something like that.
Yes. I was born in the Free Knights of Camaro district, and her parents would often come by to trade, so we've known each other since we were kids. When I left that district, I joined the Knights of Matilda, and since then we haven't had a chance to meet again.
I'd heard rumors that you joined the Knights of Matilda, but to see that they're true. Then, did you also fight against the Cutie Army? I heard they attacked the Knight's domain.
Well, I regret to say this, but as my hot-blooded nature would not allow me to overlook the plight of others, I was forced to break my allegiance to the Knights. In the end, I joined the Cutie Army in their fight.
What? You and the Cutie Army? So that's how it is.
Suddenly, Maki's face looked downcast. Her expression seemed to say she'd realized something, and everyone else kept their mouths shut. They were all bothered by the bandit leader's parting words. Who knows who this is? Maki! Is Maki there? A violent knocking resounded throughout the room. Maki ran to answer the door.
This Ciclado. There are wounded people in here, so please keep it down.
I know that. I heard they're part of that Cutie Army lot, so I came here right away.
That's...
I'm coming in at once. I'm going to have a talk with those men. You're part of the Cutie Army? Oh, shirtless Camus, I forgot about that. Hi, Skylar. How are you? I saw you were streaming earlier. Let's just sit on shirtless Camus for a little longer. Pretend not to think about the burns underneath those bandages. That's right. Excuse my rudeness, but who are you? I'm Claudio, the mayor of this village. How dare you show your faces here?
Ciclado.
I don't know what you're scheming this time, but leave this village alone. You've already taken all our money and food, and yet you have the nerve to come back here looking completely unconcerned. After we'd finally managed to prepare something we could call a feast.
We robbed you. That bandit leader mentioned something similar, but...
Yes. The truth is, about half a year ago, a unit from the Cutie Army suddenly appeared.
That can't be! I don't believe it! If you don't believe our words, then go outside and take a look for yourself.
Without a moment's delay, Gijimu's gang flew outside. Miklatov and I rushed after them.
Cutie Army bastards, get out of our village!
Yeah, that's right. Give back the food you stole from us.
That's right! My little brother was... by you bastards! What the hell is this? You guys! Didn't we just save you guys from those stinking bandits just a little while ago? Why are you saying this kind of stuff now? Huh. That was just a part of your plan, wasn't it? You bastards. Do you understand now? No matter how much unnecessary effort you put into this, we will only find you a nuisance.
That's also not quite right. You'll only bother us. You'll only disturb us.
It would be better for you if you left this place quickly.
Oh no, so both the Firebringer and the Cutie Army are doing bad things. Back in the room, everyone was in a grave mood, with not a word being spoken between us. Among us. Among us? With the state the villagers were in, it seemed that there was some truth to what they said about the Cutie Army having come and plundered the place. You want to be in the Cutie Army? You can join, well, you're already a member of the Contrary Motion Cutie Brigade, so... And so they asked themselves what meaning those words held. While the villagers were taking shelter, they told me. When Bolgan heard it, he was a little sad.
But who the hell was it? Looting like that, I don't know if any of my bandits would have the guts to pull that off.
But, well, the ones who did the looting were from the Cutie Army. At least, that's what they called themselves. This area of the grasslands was under the protection of the Knights of Matilda. Then, you all know the Cutie Army defeated them. In the confusion, a lot of guys scheming to make a profit may have turned up. Then, our fight gave birth to the tragedy in this village. Is that what you're saying?
That can't be right. His goal was...
Ailey. All things have good spots and bad ones too. That fight is no different. It met with good results. But this village was one of the bad results. Or so it said.
So then, what do we do now? They told us to get out, so do we leave?
The mayor. He said something rather strange. Something about unnecessary effort. What do you think he could have meant? I see, so that's how it is, huh?
Yeah. What? How it is?
Well, Sir Claudio, it seems he was planning to pay the bandits tribute just as they wanted him to. But before he could, that fight happened between everyone and the bandits. So then, that battle earlier was...
What are you saying? So that sort of thing's what those no-good robbers usually do? You're just gonna overlook the whole thing and give it to them? You gotta be kidding me. Those guys just don't want to spend time looking for the treasure themselves.
Seems that way. But... if I take the tribute... going together, English is not very good for this whole section. You can't. If we do that, the village of Millet will... That definitely won't happen. Not when you've got your childhood friend the knight and his partner. These bandits overflowing with chivalry and these kind traveling entertainers to go with you. Whether there's one gang of thieves or two, we'll crush them.
Damn straight.
Yeah, that's right. No matter what anyone says, we should do what we think is right. It looks like we'll be able to teach them that.
I think show them, Oshiete is probably what she said. With so many voices together, what we say may come true. On this land, though disgraceful things may certainly have happened, we will dispel this infamy. This is our chance.
Alright, let's strike while the iron's hot. Us guys will start scouting out the enemy immediately. In the meantime, I'll leave you guys to figure out our strategy.
Be careful. Our enemy isn't your average band of thieves.
No need to worry. Yours truly are veterans when it comes to mountain walking. There's nobody better than us.
Leaving those cheerful words behind, the bandit trio left the room. What should we do then? I gotcha. If you could find some way to gather the villagers near the forest to the north, that'd be a big help. If they're over there, then if anything happens, they'll be able to take refuge in the woods immediately. No problem. Gathering people is what we do, after all.
What about us?
You should rest until the battle begins. Your skill with the sword will be most helpful with when those guys show up. Now that everyone's got their assigned roles, what should I do? Alright, so let's see if this makes any difference. Alright, it doesn't make any difference to the progress of the game, so does everybody want to check on Maki or check on the village? If we check on Maki, we see more Camus, I believe. If anybody wants to see more shirtless Camus. I think that is what we did last time. But I'll allow for the delay in the stream in case anybody has an opinion. But if not, we'll check on the village probably. Alright, let's check on the village. I go out to check on the village in preparation for our rematch with the Firebringer. It's in pretty horrible condition, though. Oh, Nash. Is something wrong? No, I just thought I'd see how the village was doing. Oh, so you didn't come by just to see me? Huh? No. How disappointing. Could it be that Ailey's more your type? Ailey's a really cheerful, friendly girl. It'd be great if my little sister could be that upbeat. Oh, you have a little sister? You really don't look like the type. Can you look like the type to have a little sister? Well, we haven't seen each other for many years now. What happened? It's a long story. Julie was as upbeat as Ailey. Oh, that girl wasn't always cheerful like this, you know. With those words, Rena began to tell her story with a smile on her face. Oh, we get some background for these guys. That's nice. I don't think I've done this before. At each new city, people would gather in the square to watch a few performances. Whether they were young or old, their eyes would shine at the sight. Oh, this is her telling it, so let's do it in Rena's voice. At each new city, people would gather in the square to watch a few performances. Whether they were young or old, their eyes would shine at the sight of our show. During our performance, we'd be able to make friends with the children of the town. At those times, they'd come to watch even when we were practicing. They were just simple tricks, but we were still happy. But at the end of the day, everyone would go back to their homes. Their parents would come to take the children home, and we'd be turned away. It was just a stupid story. Everywhere we went, the rumor that they're kidnapping our children to teach them to perform could be heard. But since we were children as well, I couldn't help but think maybe we were taken from somewhere too. Then one day I asked my father, "Where did you get us from?" That time a wistful look came over his face. Now I'm able to understand what the meaning of that look was. As a family of traveling entertainers, we'd be on the road every day, and since we'd been living this life since we were old enough to recognize the world around us, Ailey and I had never known what it meant to have a home. Even so, we were able to find our own happiness. Me, Ailey, our mother and father, and a worn-out donkey cart, that was our family. Ailey learned knife throwing from father, and I learned fortune-telling from mother.
We could never tell if Father was joking or being serious when he'd tell us it was in case you ever have to live on your own. No, I really thought it was a joke. At least until that day. We were attacked by a gang of bandits. They attacked our cart, but there was nothing there. Father locked us in a secret compartment of the cart, and by the time we made it out, it was already over. Ailey and I cried there for a long time. On the morning of the third day, the two of us finally understood that we'd been forced to live on our own. Luckily, we managed to make it to a small town where we were given warm meals to eat and a place to stay for several days. But we knew we couldn't live like that forever, and so we began to make a living with our performances in a corner of the town. It wasn't like it is today. We didn't go back and forth between different villages, but on the road of that small town opposite the town square, we'd show off our skills. We had to change locations in that small town in order to make enough money to survive, and gradually improved our skills. A few years later, a traveling circus visited the town on a tour. There we learned new skills working at the circus. That was where we met Bolgan for the first time. At first, he was introduced to us as the son of the circus master. But aside from his fire-breathing performance, it seemed more like he was being forced to work as a servant. The truth, that he was sold to pay off extra debts, would get them arrested in the city-states, so they'd arranged to pass him off as the master's son. He was being treated so horribly that Ailey got really angry. She got in a fight with one of the troop members, though nothing came of it. That night, she suggested that we run away with Bolgan. We'd run away from that place, and we'd make a living traveling around together. But Bolgan slowly shook his head, and then he spoke. One day, without fail, the debt would be repaid and he'd be able to come back to the town. When that time came, he'd travel with us. Bolgan didn't know why he'd been sold for the debt, but he very seriously believed that it was important that he pay it off and settle it. And so we continued to live our lives in that town. Several years later, Bolgan finally came back. And there I'll finish reminiscing. Well, was it touching? Don't give me that look. It's just how things happened, really. Besides... Rena got a little closer and whispered to me. After all, you also have a sad past, don't you? With a face like that. How? Oh, I'm a fortune teller, you know. Somehow I got the feeling she could see right through me.
Well, that backstory was worth not seeing any more shirtless Camus, almost.
Hey, Nash.
What? Turning towards the voice, the color drained from my face at seeing Gijimu's gang standing there.
What are you doing just standing around? We got a big problem. Those guys are already coming this way.
What did you say? That can't be, it's too soon.
It looks like that mayor guy sent a messenger to them.
So, how many are we looking at?
Lots more than before. Can't be less than 30 men out there.
I heard the bandits are on their way here. Yeah, we're in big trouble.
I'm worried. The villagers are still in the square. Excuse me. They've come way too soon. On top of that, Mayor Clado said something about coming to an agreement and is gathering all the villagers in the square.
I'll do something about the villagers, but we've got to hurry. As it is, I don't see any way this can end peacefully.
Yes. If we can dispel our infamy with this, then... I don't know about that, but I could take that Gustav down a notch or two if I brought him this bastard's head as a present.
Then I will also. Camus, you're fine here. An injured person will just hold us back. But in this case, Miss Maki, please take care of Camus. I think this is one of the few times when at a time like this was not translated as at a time like this, and it actually would have been better as at a time like this.
Camus,
Maki, I absolutely must go. Even without the knight's emblem on my chest, my pride as a knight remains. Those were the words of my troublesome partner.
Camus, of course you...
I'm sorry, Maki.
Honestly, it's the same as that other time.
Maki,
This is a dagger my father carried for self-defense. I don't know how to use it myself, but there's magic embedded in the handle. I'm giving you this.
thank you, Maki. I'll make good use of it.
You've always been like this. Once you've decided on something, you're always so stubborn.
We quickly threw a plan together, but when we arrived at the square, we found that the Keepers of the Flame had already set up camp there. Looking at this, I guess that talk about giving tribute to the bandits was true. Winding his way through the crowd of villagers, Claudio appeared before the bandit leader. Behind him, several people came carrying the tribute in their hands. Having laid the goods on the ground, Claudio prostrated himself there.
My Lord Fire Hero, my Lord Flame Champion, we the people of the village of Millet humbly obey your words. Please give this village your divine protection from now on. This is all the tribute you have. What a pitifully poor village.
What's he looking so proud of himself for?
Shh! They'll hear you. More importantly, everybody take your places. I'll give the signal when it's time. When I do, begin following the plan. Everyone slipped into the crowd and disappeared. As I waited for the right timing, I listened closely to the leader and Claudio's conversation.
You've gone through a lot of trouble. I'll be taking this tribute then.
The leader signaled a subordinate who carried off the tribute. Any time now. I hit a firebomb in the palm of my hand. It would set off a small explosion in the middle of the square. That was going to be the signal to the others.
What is the meaning of this?
Claudio raised his head with a bitter shout as the bandits drew their swords and seized him.
We've received our tribute, and conveniently, the villagers are all gathered here too. Now, let's cut to the chase. I'm aware the traitors gather at your little hoof and grass flute feast. I'll be taking all their goods.
Of course, it's just as Gijimu said. The leader placed a hand on his sword. He's planning to kill Claudio. Shit. It's time! The firebomb I threw was knocked down by the leader's sword, but the moment it fell, small columns of fire and white smoke spread around the area. The villagers, huddled in panic, were surprised at the sound and scattered from the square like baby spiders. There's a simile. Taking care of the villagers will be up to Ailey's team. Next, it's our turn.
You, from before. I'm impressed that you managed to survive.
It looks like you've even worse luck than me. You should probably be worrying about your own life, though. Mr. Fake Fire Hero.
What are you?
That talk about you still being alive after more than 50 years? That's a fairy tale.
Fool. The true fire rune dwells within me. Those who wield the 27 true runes are bestowed with the power of everlasting youth. Those pillars of fire were supposed to be the power of one of the 27 true runes? Give me a break. You don't know much about the world, do you dumb bastard?
That's right. If I compare that magic from earlier with the sinister power I've seen before, this is a mere child's play. How cheeky, coming from someone pretending to be a blue knight. I wonder if Gijimu's bald under that headscarf. I would imagine so. It just seems like he would be.
Take this!
The bandits lashed at their horses and came rushing towards us. Following our plan, we turned our backs to them and ran in different directions.
Hold it! You trying to run away?
We continued running as the bandits shouted after us. Before long, we'd run past the area devastated by the fire and onto a narrow street of clean buildings. Koyu! Here they come!
All right.
Koyu's voice came down from atop a partially destroyed building.
Hey, you guys, how about you try this one on for size?
Koyu pulled on a rope, causing a mountainous heap of rubble to come crumbling down.
You little brat!
The path blocked to their horses, the bandits chased Koyu on foot, but he quickly disappeared among the buildings and made catching him impossible. Well then, the guys that are left will be my opponents. That should do it.
Everything's good on my end, too. Let's go to where Big Bro Gijimu is.
Whoa, you bastards! Haven't you heard of Gijimu of the Lamp Dragon Bandits? You're not getting past me.
Gijimu was blocking the way to the door of a building, fending off the bandits' attacks.
Bro?
Don't tell me splitting up was a bad plan after all. In that case... I threw a smoke bomb without a moment's delay. Oh yeah, Gijimu's definitely bald under there.
Whoa! The hell is this? You sneaky bastard! Where'd you run off to?
While the bandits were stumbling around, we joined up with Gijimu.
Bro, are you okay? Bro!
Yeah, somehow.
What about Lo Wen? What happened to that spirited lady?
We screwed up. Lo Wen was shouting all mad-like when an arrow came flying straight at her. And somehow I ended up fighting these guys who were hiding in the building.
As the smoke screen began to disappear, the ring of bandits closed in on us. Looks like there's about 15 of them at a glance. With just me and Koyu and an injured Gijimu, this might be a little tough. But we can't just abandon Lo Wen and run. On top of that, I'm worried about leaving Miklatop by himself much longer. Oh, who is this? I was thinking of getting souvenirs for my wife and son before going back to Zexen, but is the feast already over? Who are you? Of course, it's Gilbert. Nobody at all, just a humble mercenary. If it isn't Gijimu and Koyu. Are these bandits your friends? If that's the case, then sorry. Some of them came at me, so I ended up killing them. Who knew Gilbert could fight in not a war battle?
That's old man Gilbert.
The hell? Another acquaintance?
These guys aren't anything like our friends.
It sure seems that way. So, they're enemies then.
I've been thinking of retiring, but I suppose I'll be lending a hand one last time. Don't overdo it, Gilbert, you old geezer. We're not giving out any rewards. What? I've got no problem with that. I've learned a few things in the last battle, too. Besides, these guys seem like they might be really loaded.
Well, in that case, we'll be counting on you. I'm heading over to Miklatov. Oh, I forgot. I've been doing all Zexan people with various kinds of British accents. But it's too late for Gilbert, I guess. He spent too long in the city-states.
Who's next?
Miklatov!
Sir Nash.
Sorry, I had some unexpected difficulties over at Gijimu's spot. Just then, in that moment's distraction, a bandit who'd been hiding in the shadows came running at Miklatov with a sword.
Gah!
You're a troublesome fellow, despite always telling me not to let my guard down.
Camus! You...
Lying down and being nursed to health by a lady isn't so bad, but when it's this noisy outside, it's rather hard to get any sleep.
And you call me the stubborn one.
I'm hopeless. But have you changed that much yourself?
Sir Nash.
I guess there's no helping it. I can't exactly tell you to go back now.
So, the leader of the lowlifes have returned.
Gijimu should be taking care of your subordinates that left the square. Splitting your troops up that much isn't a good plan, you know. I don't suppose you'd like to surrender quietly.
You think you have me cornered? Don't make me laugh.
What do you...
Gah!
The leader placed his left hand on the back of his right. He's planning to use that fire magic.
You think we'll let you do that?
Miklatov picked up momentum and ran at the leader with his sword, but the nearby bandits quickly spurred their horses and Miklatov and I were quickly cornered.
Yeah.
It seems the leader has some skilled underlings on hand. It'll be impossible to just kick them over in one go. Meanwhile, the leader's right hand has started glowing red. Before he releases that power... Crap! At this rate... It doesn't look like the bandits will allow us to retreat even a single step. Will I be forced to use these swords again? Technically, Nash, you didn't use them last time.
Rune within me, reveal your power to this world.
It's no use. Dual snake sword, Grosser. That flame will not be consuming any more fear. Take this!
Ugh!
A dagger had pierced the leader's arm.
However, rune within me, reveal your power to this world. Cover them in scorching flames.
However, the leader's hand was wrapped up in dazzling light. I got Grossaflus in my hand, but it's obvious I'm too late to do anything. I'm not going to have time to search his underlings for talismans this time. Damn, to die in a place like...
What is this? My magic!
It works really well, doesn't it? Take a close look at the rune embedded in that dagger.
What? Ah, this... The silence rune!
Now then, with this your magic has been sealed. Your subordinates have been dispatched as well. What will you do, Lord Fire Hero?
Damn you! If it's come to this...
The leader unsheathed his sword. At the same time, Camus and Miklatov turned their swords to point at him.
Your misdeeds will end here. For our knight's pride and for the honor of the Cutie army.
Accept this punishment for the sin of injuring a lady's leg.
Take this!
The two start running at the leader. His lunge at Miklatov was parried, and as they raised them overhead, the two men's swords seemed to shine. The leader's whole body was wrapped up in the cross of light.
Ugh!
Got him.
Huh? What? It's already over. And here I thought I'd come back and let them see my knife technique.
What a shame. Ailey's group had helped the villagers escape, and Gijimu's gang, who'd taken care of the small fry, had all come back.
So that's the end of that. Big Sis Lo Wen's injury's shallow too, so does that mean it's case closed?
Yay, I'm glad. Bolgan's happy. There aren't many injured villagers either. They'll be safe for now. I see. That's good.
Oh, so this guy was the head of the bandit gang, huh? Come on, you. Let's see what kind of face he's got.
With those quick words, Koyu tore off the leader's mask. It was old Mr. Wilson all along.
And I'd have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for you meddlesome kids.
Him? You know him? This man, his name is Clant. He was the head of the White Knights and Gerudo's right-hand man. Like me, he wielded a fire rune.
Holy cow. In that case...
I'd heard rumors that Clant had deserted when the Cutie army assaulted the Knights of Matilda's domain. But to escape to the grasslands and trick people with the Keepers of the Flame. Indeed, he'd used the same sword style that Camus and Miklatov use. They should have recognized it, especially if he's a former Knight of Matilda. The two of them looked down at Clant with bitter looks on their faces. The Cutie army defeated the Highland Royal Army and brought peace to the land. But on the other side of the story, with the defeat of the Knights, remnants of the Cutie army started pillaging. Well, that's war for you. Whatever the reason is, where war occurs, there are people who will die, and people who will cry for it. The English is so weird sometimes that it's hard to read it convincingly. The grassland sky was a clear blue, and under that blue sky we were getting ready to go our separate ways. Although we defended them from the bandits' raid, the villagers' feelings don't seem to have changed much. In the end, I guess they just saw it as a dispute between bandits. Camus, Gijimu, and Lo Wen were completely healed thanks to medicine offered by the villagers.
Hey Nash, if you ever get a break, come and stop by Tinto.
Sure. But you're leaving already?
I gotta go tell that bastard Gustav all about our heroic deeds this time around. Besides, looks like we've dried up our welcome with those village guys. Well, not like I've been trying to change this mountain bandit look.
Well, you got a point there.
Hey, you. You're not supposed to agree so readily.
That was a bad line reading, I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to agree so readily.
Even though it's awkward English. He can't help it if it's true. So, we've taken care of our business, and now we're hurrying home. Nash, if you ever come to Two River, you should stop by my shop. I'll treat you to so much booze you'll practically drown in it. I'll drop by. I'm gonna try not to drown, though.
Safe travels then, Nash bro.
Yeah, see ya. The three of them went off in the opposite direction from me. Those guys, unconcerned with any reports, still give me the feeling that they're reliable. See, that just is terrible English. Unburdened with reports like I am, nonetheless give me the feeling that I can rely on them in the future, or something like that, who knows. I know it was more compact than that in Japanese, but they're stock phrases.
Nash, we'll be going soon too. It looks like the feast has been postponed. On top of that, it's been leaked out that we were with the Cutie Army, so we're not gathering any customers.
I see. It's pretty bad. Huh? You too.
We're used to this sort of thing.
That's right. Whatever happens, Bolgan's happy.
Nash, you're going back to Harmonia, right? It's too bad. We're going somewhere else.
Yeah. Wait, how do you know that?
How indeed. Oh, it's because we talked to Miss Sierra. She said she hired someone to carry her luggage before, but since she hasn't had any help with it lately, her shoulders are getting stiff. She said it was a blonde skirt chaser named Nash from Harmonia.
A blonde skirt chaser.
I knew it was you. When I heard your name was Nash, it was like a light came on in my head. This is the guy, I thought.
Hey.
Now then, please excuse us. Let's meet again sometime. See you later, Nash.
With smiles on their faces, they left as well. Without a place to go back to, they're kind of like me. No, for me it's... And then as I began to follow the road north, I heard the voices of Maki and the two knights.
Mr. Nash, so you're leaving already as well?
Yeah, that's right. Originally, I only stopped here for some shopping. It was just for a little while, but it turned into a really serious situation. Either way, it's nice of you to come see me off, Miss Maki.
Sir Nash, why...
Maki, it would be better for you to return to the village. If you're seen with us, it'll be difficult for you to stay here. Isn't that right, Nordlash? True enough. It's pretty disappointing to have to turn down a beautiful lady's farewell, though.
That's...
Miklatov, we should get going as well.
Right. But your wounds...
What? It's just a few scrapes.
Mr. Nash, I'll be seeing you off anyway if you don't mind. Moreover, Camus, please stay at my house until your wounds are healed.
But Maki, in this situation...
No. Everyone is... our village... Even though there was no reason for you to come back, even though you saved me, I didn't do anything. Besides, the Cutie Army did more than just pillage this village. I think they'll understand that someday. So, I was thinking, that sort of fight is worth fighting, isn't it?
In that case, I'll gratefully accept your send-off. Usually I'm either running away or being chased, so I'm used to having to sneak out of places. It's been a while since I had something like this. See you later, Camus. I'm guessing what Maki said isn't your sole reason for fighting.
That's...
Bye then. Camus gave a small, wry smile. Maki also had a small smile. Waving at the three of them, I left the village of Millet behind. So I guess Millet is technically in Tinto territory, but it's on the border with the grasslands. I believe that's how it works. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next chapter. We'll do 2 chapters tonight, and then the last 2 chapters next week, and then start Suikogaiden 3 after that. Alright, moving on to Caleria. First I'm going to have a little bit of water, because this is quite a lot of reading. Alright. This is a fun little section. I think we'll be able to still see most of the interesting stuff in it, even though we're going for luck points. So we can do the alternate path in Chapter 3. Caleria. The Holy Kingdom of Harmonia's Southern Frontier Defense Force, to which I'm still ostensibly affiliated, makes its home here, in this town situated upon the boundary between Harmonia and the grasslands. Around these parts, you'll find no shortage of special agents like myself, as well as mercenaries of all types with their eyes peeled for any and all events that occur near Harmonia's national border. In recent years, with the Gate Rune War and the chaos in the city-states, the military operations have seen a steep increase. Well then, what should I do?
You finally showed up, Nash. It was worth waiting around.
Turning to meet the voice, I was met by a most unexpected face. Why? I didn't think there were still any people out there who cared about what I got up to.
So, where are you headed? To finish your mission? Or
Are you gonna stand in my way? If you plan on holding me back, you better be ready to go through hell for it. Just like old times.
I know better than to think that the little latchkey boy would stop and listen to what I have to say. I figured that much out years ago.
Then why are you here, Lena? This woman is Lena Safina, daughter of the Safina family. Whoops. She served as a member of the Temple Guards for longer than I, and is mine and Julie's aunt. Safina family is a branch of the Latchkey family, and while she may only be 3 years older than I am, I've never really been able to deal with her all that well. Let's see here. Does it matter what we... Yeah, we need a luck point. So, give me a break. You're not my older sister.
Hey now. Aren't you the little boy that used to follow his big sis Lena around, clutching his big sister Lena's skirts all the time?
Whoa! Lena, please. We can't spend our whole lives dwelling on the past.
In that case, I need you to help me out with something. I don't plan on taking no for an answer.
You need my help? It's not like I have any connection to the Latchkey family anymore. What you see is what you get.
That'll be more than enough.
Hey, wait a minute. What's this all of a sudden? Before I'd even realized what was happening, Lena had taken my hands and placed me in cuffs.
There's a warrant out for your arrest in Caleria.
Huh? What for? What did I...
Misappropriation of funds. You'd received advances for an infiltration mission, but apparently neglected to submit a final report.
Oh. I suppose it's true that I've been out of contact for the past 3 months. I'm honestly kind of surprised they didn't just assume I'd gotten myself killed.
Well, off we go.
Wait a minute. You're saying you're gonna hand me over to the guards? That's terrible. It's not like there's a bounty, right?
Of course there isn't. It's probably not worth fussing over anyway, so calm yourself down a bit. You should be fine after explaining the situation and submitting a lengthy written apology. On top of that, I'm sure the Safina family has some pull with the captain here.
Even so, isn't this a bit much?
You think so, huh? I was thinking it's probably about time I stopped pampering you. You need to go back to Julie. Surely you must realize just how much that girl needs you.
Yeah, I get that. But...
Great. Let's get a move on then.
Man, I just can't deal with this woman. That's what came to mind as I was dragged away. I'm just looking at our future pathway here. I think it should be fine. Well, Barge, is Calaria's fortress to your liking?
It's the very definition of comfort. The grasslands have been peaceful as can be for decades now, and that nasty mess in the south seems to have died down as well.
That's good then. Though I do hope you haven't forgotten by whose graces you found yourself in this position, as well as the reason for doing so.
Perish the thought. Rest assured that I'm keeping close tabs on that annoying woman from the guards.
I see. So where is she now?
She whiles the days away waiting by the side of the road on the grasslands border. I do wonder when the person she's waiting for will arrive.
Quite the hard worker.
But will she really apprehend Nash for us? He seems to be well known amongst the garrison for his eccentric proclivities. His behavior does not seem at all unexpected.
That is precisely why we set this up, spreading rumors that would make her want to secure him personally. There's no reason to fret. Instead, you ought to worry about not messing up your part in this.
Yes, of course. Excuse me? What is it? We've received word from the watchtower. Lady Lena Safina has apprehended the suspect and is currently en route to our location. Understood. You're dismissed. Sir! Well then, please allow me to handle this.
Just don't screw up. Lena Safina, Vice Captain of the Temple Guard 2nd Unit. I've apprehended the suspect. I'd like to report directly to Lord Barge. Might I request an audience?
Acting Commander Barge, correct? I'll send a messenger. Please wait a moment.
Huh? Wait a minute. What do you mean, acting commander? What happened to Captain Bandom?
Captain Bandom is currently absent. It seems he's been sent on some long-term mission. In the meantime, we've been left with some inexperienced fool.
There had to have been some better candidates out there.
Now that you mention it, it seems that all the capable people were moved away for strategic reasons. They settled on this no-name countryside noble from the south as a last resort. Just so happens that I also came here with the relief troop, so I don't really know much more about it than that.
So that's how it is. It's no wonder I hadn't seen any familiar faces among the troops. Seems like a lot of people have been replaced in the 6 months I've been gone. While mulling the situation over in my head, I turned and saw a group of soldiers approaching us from the main barracks. What are you plotting? You're not getting yourself out of this. What about them? A group of soldiers were approaching us with their blades drawn, looking in my direction with daggers in their eyes. I'm handing over a prisoner accused of disobeying orders. It's only natural for them to be apprehensive. You always did think the best of everyone. And you worry too much. I hope you're right.
Lady Lena, congratulations on successfully completing your mission.
Thanks. Please inform Lord Barge that I'll be sitting in on the suspect's inquiry.
That won't be necessary.
The soldiers quickly spread out around us, and Lena and I found ourselves completely surrounded. Looks like that hunch of mine wasn't so far off the mark. What's the meaning of this?
Your cooperation in this matter will no longer be required, Lady Lena. How Nash Latchkey will be dealt with from here on out will be left to the discretion of the garrison.
What are you saying? This isn't what was agreed on.
I don't know anything about that. The only orders we received from Lord Barge were to take custody of Nash Latchkey, after all.
What is going on here?
Lord Barge.
Lady Lena, thank you kindly for your assistance in apprehending the suspect. You can leave the rest to us. Please return to Crystal Valley now.
Lord Barge, what are you saying? Isn't this treatment a bit extreme for something like misappropriation of funds? And did I not have your word that I could sit in on his inquiry?
The circumstances have changed.
What?
It was, as you said, originally just a case of misappropriation of funds, but some new information has come to our attention.
What are you saying?
As you know, his mission was to infiltrate the city-states of Jostin. It's there, unfortunately, where he made some trouble for us. Though it no longer exists, the Kingdom of Highland was once an ally of our country. In the city-states, it appears he interfered with Highland's assault on a city called Greenhill.
Where did you get that information?
From a very reliable source, and as such, I'm afraid I cannot afford to simply ignore it.
Then what will Nash's punishment be?
It's already decided. His crime is treason. Those who have committed this crime are, if considered necessary by the superiors of the organization to which they belong, to be summarily executed.
What? That's ridiculous. Surely the law must allow for special circumstances during a revolt like that. And to be summarily executed without a trial must exceed the scope of the law.
Still, we are bound by the law. The time for talk is over. I'd ask you to take your leave.
You... What the hell?
We've been indebted to the Safina family for a long time now. I'm not ignorant of that fact. However, what matters most now is the present. It would be a most grave error to align yourself with any persons connected to the Latchkeys, former leaders of the People's Faction.
You bastard! You had this plan from the start!
Did I? I'm simply relieved that I've been able to fulfill the role I was given.
Who's responsible for this?
That I cannot say. Nash Latchkey will be executed tomorrow morning, so if you hope to exchange parting words, I suggest you do so sooner rather than later. Get in there and keep quiet till morning.
Stripped of all my equipment, I was thrown into the frigid stone floor of a holding cell with nothing more than some cheap prison clothes. Putting me here was quite an excellent trick, though. Whoever was pulling the strings on this one certainly got the best of me this time. I've got a feeling I know exactly who it was. Most likely they won't wait long before executing me. I can't afford to waste any time. I calmly took a look around. It's a small underground cell. No window, of course. There's a grate about the size of a child's wrist. A guard constantly patrols back and forth in front of the cell, with probably at least 2 more standing by the entrance and exit. To be trapped in Calaria's fortress of all places. Seems my luck has run out. Still, I'm not so obedient that I'll just give up and let it all end here. Hey, could I ask you something?
What is it?
What time do you guys usually do dinner around here?
There won't be any dinner. It'd be a waste of food to feed a guy who's gonna die in the morning.
Whoa there. What's that supposed to mean?
What, you weren't told? You're to be executed tomorrow morning.
Wait a minute. I can't just be executed without even an interrogation first. Despite how desperate all my shouting may have looked, I was perfectly calm and collected on the inside. My absolute worst-case scenario came to pass, that's all. Seems I've got no choice but to prepare myself for the inevitable.
Look, man, I don't know what you did, but you reap what you sow, right? Anyway, just shut up and be quiet already.
If that's the case, and at least let me have a last meal then. As if unwilling to put up with my abuse, the guard muttered, "Gimme a break," and walked away from me with a sigh. If I'd been given a meal, I might at least have got my hands on a spoon, but no such luck this time, it seems. I don't know who these guys are, but they'd been very thorough in examining me, and hadn't missed even a single pin. Man, what do I do about this mess? My thoughts spin around inside my head. The fort's stone walls are solidly built, and definitely won't be easy to smash through. Opening the cell door would be a breeze, provided I had the right tool for the job, but I doubt I'll be able to get my hands on anything useful. I don't know the guard on duty, but he's not likely to be receptive to a bribe. It's not like I have any money anyway. I only have one night to escape from here. This might be the end. Just as I began to give up hope, I heard someone coming down the stairs. Lena!
It'll only take a minute, right?
Yeah, I won't cause a ruckus. Thank you. Nash.
Alright. So this would normally cost us all of our luck points, which we're trying to save. I believe this is what we did last time. So we're just gonna have to go with "Damn you, you sold me out."
Enough of your pathetic barking. You really don't know when to give up.
You Safina sure do seem to have quite the knack for lying and cheating.
You're quite the piece of work yourself. I don't know what happened out there, but did you think you could cause a mess like that and walk away as though nothing happened?
Leave me alone.
Is your bark all you've got left? Is that all you are now? Some coward barking in a cage?
Ouch! I don't think she punches you if you do the other path.
Hey, calm down. He's not supposed to be harmed before the execution.
That pain is the same pain Julie feels. It might do you some good to spend the night thinking about that. If you still care about other people at all.
So, the other answer doesn't cost any luck points if you have a bunch of popularity points, but we couldn't accrue those and luck points at the same time. So, alas, that's just the way it goes this time. Without once turning back in my direction, Lena handed the guard some coins for his trouble and climbed up the stairs. It looks like the guards have been replaced by the night shift. Their dedication towards keeping an eye on me all night is certainly admirable. But I'm kind of in a hurry here. Earlier, Lena had slipped me a little something. Getting hit like that is never pleasant, but Lena had taken advantage of the situation to place a small pin by my ear. She's always been good at that, skillfully maneuvering through delicate situations, and adept at syncing her own actions up to mine. First order of business is to reclaim my equipment, I suppose. Getting new darts and armor together wouldn't be that much of a challenge, but as for grosser Fluss, I need those swords. For no other reason than my inevitable confrontation with Zaj. My equipment is probably being kept in the officers' quarters where Barge is. I saw some soldiers carrying my equipment over that way at least. Entering the barracks would be a huge risk, but there's not a whole lot of choice. Feigning sleep, I closely observed the guards on watch. One, sitting in his chair with his arms crossed, was beginning to nod off. The other would yawn on occasion and sleepily rub his eyes. Could this be my chance? Doing my best to remain inconspicuous, I quietly crept up to the metal bars, stuck my hand out from between them, and started probing the lock. Suddenly, the guard that had been yawning stood up. I quietly closed the gate, sidled up against the wall, and waited.
Well, my shift is done, so I'm taking off. Later.
Mumbling a reply, the half-asleep guard saw his companion off. Thanks for that. The fewer enemies I have, the better. Reinforcing my resolve, I emerged from my cell. As the guard continued to snooze, I hit him in the nape of his neck, causing him to lose consciousness. I quickly dragged him into the cell and changed him into my prison uniform. Obviously, I claimed the clothes the guard had been wearing for myself. I carefully laid him down on the bed and pulled a blanket over his head before locking the cell with the guard's keyring. Keep quiet till morning. At that moment, I heard the sound of footsteps coming down the stairs. That was faster than I expected. What do I do? Time to smooth talk our way through. I don't want to cause any unnecessary commotion. I decided to sit myself down in the same chair the guard had been in and pretend to be asleep.
Hey, I'm the shift change. So, this is that Nash guy?
Yeah. He's a lot more cooperative than I've been expecting, so I've been bored out of my mind. Hey, keep an eye on him for a minute.
You going somewhere?
I need to use the toilet.
Hey, I haven't seen you around before.
Yeah. I was just assigned here a couple of days ago. Sorry, everything's been happening so fast that I haven't gotten a chance to introduce myself.
Is that right? That's some rotten luck working the graveyard shift right off the hop. Well, welcome aboard then.
I went up the stairs, leaving a huge sigh of relief. As I emerged into the hallway, I realized that I had the sword I took from my jailer drawn the whole time. I was grateful for the obliviousness of the guard I'd just met. Alright, now this next section is a little complicated, so I'm just gonna make sure I'm looking at my chart here, because we want to make sure we get a potato and a ham. I think we can do both. And as long as we get the potato, we'll be fine in terms of luck, I think. How many do we have right now? Well, I can't see. Let's see. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we should have 6 luck points. And provided I get... Oh, okay, so I do need to do this. Oh, but then I don't get the ham. Alright, so hold on. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we do need to do that. So we can't get the ham. But we should be okay with the potatoes. Oh, we need the ham to feed the kobold. Sorry, this is a little complicated. So I think we can't do the alternate path and do the kobold thing. which means we miss out on a couple of people. Or a couple of encounters, kind of, maybe. But we definitely need to go to 16. Alright, I think I've got an idea of what we need to do. So let's go. I came up the stairs and out the first floor of the barracks. I followed a straight hallway dotted with windows. The cold night air stung against my skin after being indoors. To remain inconspicuous, I walked down the hall confidently. Since I'm dressed as a guard, it would be very suspicious to be sneaking around. With my current equipment, I can handle 2, 3 at most in a fight. But if they figure out what's going on, the number of soldiers is bound to increase. I need to find my equipment soon, somehow. The hallway soon divided in 2 directions, to the right and straight ahead. I carefully inspected both paths. I can hear footsteps coming down the path straight ahead. They'd stopped to catch their breath, or so I assume, but it sounded like they were carrying something heavy because their pace was off. What should I do? Alright, so we want to go... We want to hide behind the pillar and receive the potatoes. The only thing back where I came from is the dungeon. It's unlikely they'd be carrying anything that heavy there. Rather than confront them here, I should just let them pass me. I hold my breath, concealing my presence.
Hey, keep it balanced. It's getting way too heavy on this side. Yeah, I hear ya. Jeez, why couldn't they have had us move this during the day? There's nothing we can do about it. They changed the menu for tomorrow. Apparently we're celebrating something.
By any chance, could that celebration be for my execution? Irritated by the thought, I quietly waited for them to pass.
Hey, this thing's full of potatoes, right? I don't want to have to lug these back if we got the wrong stuff. Actually, I'm not entirely sure.
Just as they were about to pass by, the pair stopped right in front of me and let down their burden. Oh, give me a break. They may not be looking for me, but all it would take is one glance over here and they'd see me. I held my breath and watched the 2 soldiers intently.
Well, would you look at that? Potatoes after all.
Oops.
Dropped him.
Give me a break! The potatoes came rolling and stopped right at my feet. Of course they did. In preparation to confront the soldier who'd come to pick them up, I placed my hand on the sword.
Yeah, whatever. Leave him for the rats. Come on, let's get this over with. I guess it can't be helped.
Oh, damn, that was close. Well, what now? If I follow the soldiers down the right path, I'll come to the kitchen. If I go straight from where the soldiers had come, I'll come outside. So, where should I go? Okay, so now we want to go down the hallway on the right. If I want to get to the commander's room, heading straight through the barracks is definitely the shortest route. Taking care to ensure that the soldiers had gone on ahead, I proceeded with the utmost caution. Wait. I proceeded down the cold hallway. Okay, good. I thought for a minute that you'd gone the other way. I peered into a door on the right-hand side that was slightly open. I quietly slipped inside after taking a moment to first confirm that there was no one inside. Tables and chairs were lined up in an orderly fashion. There was also a faint smell of food. This is the mess hall, complete with the kitchen in the back. Seems as though my jailbreak hasn't been found out yet, and being forced to miss out on dinner like I was has left me feeling hungry. Well, what should I do? Alright, we want to forage for food. Right. I may end up having to fight myself out of this one. Fortifying myself with something to eat first isn't a bad idea. There wasn't anyone in the kitchen, but the coals in the cooking stove remained slightly stoked. Placing some more wood on the fire, I paused to warm my freezing hands and gave the room a quick once-over. On closer inspection, it seemed as though preparations for breakfast were already underway, with the ingredients laid out on the kitchen counter. Don't mind if I do. Some potatoes had rolled out from a sack placed haphazardly on the floor. I kicked them away as I began searching for something to eat. Let's see. Some half-cooked soup and beans. Alright, ham. This is... Oh, could the exquisite fragrance of these herbs possibly be...
Hello, is somebody there? Maybe it was a mouse.
Crap. Mouthful of ham, I dashed underneath the counter and trained my eyes on the entrance.
Oh, the potatoes! Oh, how annoying.
Even though it was in the middle of the night, the neatly dressed cooking lady started putting the potatoes back. Oh, I can't believe they'd pull a sudden switch on me like this. Telling me to change the menu for tomorrow even though I already had it all laid out already? Oh, this is the cook.
Telling me to change the menu for tomorrow, even though I already had it all laid out already.
Alright, let's look for some more food. I quickly scanned the surrounding area for some more food. Right away, I spied some white bread and dried meat placed at eye level on a shelf to the side. Stuffing the ham in my mouth, I reached out for a string of dried meat, just a hair's breadth from snatching it.
Just a bit more.
However, at that moment, I felt a most alarming bloodthirstiness coming from behind me. I quickly looked to the side, but the lady who'd been picking up the potatoes was no longer there.
Frap.
I swiftly jumped and rolled out in front, grabbing the white bread from the shelf as I rose. Nice timing. With the loaf of white bread as my shield, I managed to stop the ladle that had been brought down at my head.
You! Aren't you Nash?
Really?
I uncomfortably looked over the room in search of an exit. There's definitely one in the back. There's also one in the dining room. Right, I've made up my mind. I tossed the bread straight up in the air, and the cooking lady followed it with her eyes. At that moment, I quickly ran towards the door.
Hey, Nash! Keep tossing food around like that, and you'll pay for it one day.
Hurry! Really? Pra! Don't tell anyone I was here.
The night's growing short. The sun would rise quickly if I wasted time to stop and eat here. Better get on with it. Well, which way should I go? Alright, so now we want to go through the dining room. No, we want to go outside through the kitchen door. I quietly shut the door behind me. All my efforts would be wasted if I raised a commotion now. First of all, I need to keep myself hidden. After descending a few steps, I could feel the soil beneath my feet. Diving into some nearby shrubbery, I crept along the side of the building. Perhaps owing to the late hour, the air outside was much cooler than I'd anticipated. In the center of the fort lies a spacious, grassy common area. It's a terribly unpleasant garden, often used for training drills or assembling the troops. Suddenly, I saw the shadow of something moving in the distance. A soldier on patrol? Ah, what a pain. Mendoza! Restricting my breathing and crouching in the darkness, I'd only advanced a short while before sensing something unnatural. Rapid breathing, constant sniffing. and there was a faint metallic sound. Huh? What? Quite cautious of them, having a guard dog. We sure didn't have anything like this back when I was still around. Having detected me, the beast bared its fangs and gave a low growl. The collar's chain clinked in rhythm with its breathing. No need to be upset. Just stay calm. What am I gonna do? The dog doesn't seem to have made up its mind about what to do either, but if I turn tail and run, it'll definitely let out a massive howl and get me in an even stickier situation. This is really bad. I took out a potato I'd picked up earlier from my pocket. I picked them up when I was hiding in the hallway, when they'd rolled right in front of me. I cautiously held it out for the dog, but it took no interest in it, its gaze locked on me. Yeah, I guess a dog wouldn't be interested in that. I quickly moved my hand and tossed the potato up and down a bit, as if I was about to start playing catch, teasing the guard dog with it while observing its reaction. Doesn't look like you've gotten much training. Here, want this? The dog snapped at my extended hand, just missing it as I quickly drew it back. Alright, now that you're interested. The dog was losing its patience as I kept teasing it. Here we go. Tossing the potato high in the air, the dog's eyes shifted to it instead. Now! I quickly took out another potato and threw it in his direction. Hurling the potato with all my might, it flew right by the dog's nose, grazing it and passing by its ear, surprising the dog, which instinctively ran after the potato. When you happily bring it back, you'll find that I'm no longer here. I'll take this opportunity to put the courtyard behind me. Looks like it's not chasing me. Taking a breather, I look around me. There's no guarantee they've only got the one dog after all. I noticed a wooden shed to my back with a lock hanging from the door. There wasn't any shed here 6 months ago. Could it be a warehouse? That would be a lucky break. Maybe I could hide in here for a while. I took a shot at getting the lock open with the pin I used when I escaped from the dungeon. Almost there. Whoa! It's a stable. Well, could have been worse. Everyone be quiet! Oof. Huh? And you are?
Did I do something bad? Oof.
No, that's not. But your foot. Does it hurt? A young kobold was sitting on a straw bed by the innermost wall. More importantly, his feet were chained to it.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I hurriedly put away the sword I'd drawn when I heard the voice. The kobold was still looking at me with frightened eyes. Shucks. Don't worry. Despite my looking like this, I'm not actually a soldier here. Or, I guess I am, but right now I'm kind of not. Well, in any case, you don't have to be scared. I'm not going to do anything to hurt you.
Really? That's a relief. I didn't get any dinner today, so when I saw you with that sword and the scary look on your face, I thought I was gonna get punished.
I see. It seems this kobold was brought here as a slave. Makes sense that he'd be scared, as kobolds and other beasts from the grasslands are literally treated as less than human in Harmonia. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Ugh. Even though I said that, it turns out I don't have anything on hand that would be good for you. Oh. So we had to get the ham, which we can't get, and get the luck points that we needed. So we can't feed the kobold. Sorry to get your hopes up.
No, it's okay.
No matter how I look at it, getting chained up in the stables like this is pretty harsh. What happened?
I was taking care of the horses like usual. And then Lord Barge started hitting a horse because it didn't listen to him, and when I asked him to please stop, he got really angry. The next day I was moved here from my room.
Damn it, Barge. What a contemptible sleazebag. Alright, hold still for a moment.
But if you do that...
Don't worry about it. Once dawn breaks, the fort will be in an uproar. A prisoner that's supposed to be executed has escaped.
Huh?
The soldiers will be mobilized to track him down, so this place should be completely empty. You should be able to get away during that time.
Yeah.
Barge will probably end up taking all the blame for this, so you can rest easy. If you like the work you're doing now, you can just stay here. Well, think about it until morning.
I understand.
Well, I need to get going again.
Take care. And do your best. I'll be rooting for you a lot.
Thank you. Alright.
Oh, that's right, the warehouse.
I left the stable without hearing what the kobold had to say. This had already taken too much time. Even I was surprised by my own soft-heartedness. Well, can't linger around here any longer. Alright, so we want to enter the building of the door door of the building straight ahead. I mean, technically we don't have to, but we may as well. This is the longer path. I went up to the second floor and after a quick turn found myself in a corridor lined with countless doors. These were the soldiers' private rooms. Most would be asleep right now, but more than a few rooms showed no signs of life at all. Probably the rooms of on-duty soldiers. Well then, I can't miss this chance. I might find some tools I could use to get out of the next tight spot I land in. I immediately went about deciding on which room to sneak into. Well, it'll have to be one of these three. Alright, so we have to pick... We can't pick the last one because we didn't feed the kobold. And we have to get to the right part in the spot. So, let's try room 109. The personal belongings should be in the bag by the base of the bed. A weapon would be useful. Only some throwing knives. Well, I guess he'd have taken the important equipment with him on duty. Alright then, these can be important to me. I put everything back in order and quietly closed the door to the room. I continued down the hallway and went back down the stairs, coming upon a narrow passage that led outdoors. I peeked outside and spotted a path that went behind the barracks, leading to a grove of trees. I can't remember if we fed the kobold or not last time. After climbing the stairs, I saw a pair of heavy double doors at the end of a long hallway extending to the side. Hung above the massive doors was a decorative plate with Commander's Chambers etched on it. So, the time's finally come. Despite thinking that caution was probably not necessary, I slowly turned the doorknob. Quietly opening the door, the first thing I saw was an empty bottle on the floor. My gaze was then drawn to a nearby sofa, upon which I was amazed to see a man sleeping. So this is Barge, sleeping so soundly. Well, we can't have that. Hey, wake up.
You? Yeah. What the hell is this?
As Barge recognized the person standing in front of him, he tried to stand up, but was distraught to find that his hands had been bound behind his back. I placed the tip of my sword against his throat. I'll have to ask you to be quiet, Mr. Barge. It's quite late after all.
Damn it. You bastard! How did you...
There seems to have been a steep decline in the quality of the guards since you were put in charge here.
Shut up!
You can stop with the bravado.
You little... Why are you even here?
I'd like you to tell me where you've stashed my equipment and swords. I'd assume they'd be here, but it looks like my guess was off the mark.
Like I'd know that.
I grazed past Barge's left ear with the tip of my blade, giving his hair a slight trim in the process.
Yeah. Wait. I just remembered. Your equipment is in the warehouse. It's behind the barracks. Honestly. I was just doing what I was told.
Oh, right. So if you feed the kobold, he'll tell you where your equipment is, and you don't have to do this scene, I believe. Something like that. You don't need to tell me that. At the very least, it's obvious that someone like you couldn't have been behind all of this. Locking the door from the inside, I went out the window and jumped down into the courtyard and ran towards the warehouse in the darkness. I wasted too much time making my way here, and night'll soon give way to dawn. I need to recover my equipment and escape as fast as I can. Moving deeper into the warehouse, I came across a crate where my equipment had been laid out. Alright, I'll just quickly change clothes and then make my escape.
I was getting tired of waiting, boy.
What?
You sure took the long way around. Perhaps you had a tearful farewell with some woman?
Wang. This is Wang, skilled member of the guards, master of martial arts, and a thoroughly unpleasant man. But I thought all the veterans had been sent away with Captain Bandham. What the hell are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be out on some secret mission?
With everyone out on such important missions, who's gonna stick around and look after the fort? Not to mention, we got this new incompetent hack running things around here now. But still, even if I'm only one man, the defense of this fort will be perfect.
So that's your story. You sure you weren't left behind because you're a lazy drunkard?
Boy, you better watch your mouth. Unless you're planning to get yourself killed before ever seeing another sunrise.
Not really planning to get myself killed after either.
What a funny thing to say. Why, do you really think you'll be able to get past me?
I guess I was more just hoping that you'd let me off easy and look the other way.
Unfortunately, I'm a dutiful man. I follow my orders to the letter.
Well, I guess it can't be helped then.
Yeah, it's unavoidable. I see you managed to polish your skills these past 6 months. You've grown. I'm happy for you.
Don't act like you're my mentor or something.
Sorry, but no disciple of mine would ever show such poor form. Well now, this is interesting.
Damn it. Got my hands full just avoiding his punches. This damn guy looks like he's having the time of his life.
Hey, you're not gonna beat me just by dodging me.
As I thought, it had been reckless of me to try and go hand in hand with this guy. And I suppose I have no other option but to swallow my pride and use a weapon. Alright. Alright, so we've got the knife that we picked up, so we've got to use it. I had a weapon I'd taken just for a situation like this. I drew a throwing knife and threw it with all the force I could muster. I'd thrown the knife without warning, but it was unceremoniously sidestepped.
Well then, what now?
Damn, the next move will have to be... If it's come to this... Gotta use grosser Fluss. There's no choice anymore but to go all out. Preparing to use my killing move, I looked towards where my equipment was placed.
Hey, don't look away.
Perhaps Wang had managed to anticipate my next move, so when I tried to make for my equipment, he immediately swooped in to block my passage.
You can have those as a reward if you beat me.
I guess it won't be that easy. And my next move will have to be... Say, I don't suppose I could convince you to forget about all this.
That'd be a pretty sweet deal for you.
I hadn't really expected him to be taken in that easily, but I figured I might have a chance if I could just catch him off guard. Or so I'd hoped, but it seemed to be futile.
How about I let you use the sword you already have? You need a handicap, that is.
Shut up. I can still...
Trying to bluff?
To be honest, I'm quickly losing ground here. That said, however, it's not like I can just take off without my equipment.
Well then, I've grown tired of this, so maybe it's time to get serious.
If you're tired, it'd be nice if you just called it quits.
It would be, but unlikely. Hey, Nash. What are you gonna do once you get away from the guards?
Do I really need to say it?
Is it something that must be done?
Yeah, right now.
That's good then. I came here after being chased out of my homeland. And what's more, I'll never be able to go back. There is, however, something I think about from time to time. What is it exactly that I'm meant to do in this land? Shouldn't I have remained back in the old country, accomplished something of worth, and died there instead?
What are you getting at?
In short, I'm someone whose life's already over. The Defense Force is full of people like that. People who are lost and have nowhere to return to. But you have somewhere you need to go, something you need to do, and a place to return to. Isn't that right?
Perhaps.
That's something to be happy about. Time's up.
Huh?
Take a look for yourself.
Keeping a careful eye on Wang, I look in the direction he's indicating, towards the door. The light of dawn had come through the gap.
First thing in the morning, I'm to be relieved of guarding the fort and head into the grasslands. Seems our good friend Barge doesn't enjoy my company very much.
Then, you're letting me go.
What did I tell you? I follow my orders to the letter.
I'm in your debt.
Being in people's debt doesn't seem to fit your image.
I rushed over to my equipment and inspected it. What's the meaning of this? The blades of my knives have been sharpened. My dart gun has been cleaned and oiled, as well as my anchor launcher. My gunpowder's been replenished. Wang.
Once you get away from the guards, you'll need to be properly equipped for your journey to Crystal Valley. Isn't that right, young Master Latchkey?
With that, Wang stuck his hands in his pockets and quietly made his exit. I quickly changed clothes and put on my equipment. With this, making my way through the gates to freedom is no longer an impossibility. They'd all been novices, not a single proper guard to be found. Now that I'd regained my equipment and escaped the fort, I walked down the road towards Crystal Valley at a leisurely pace. After about an hour, a figure emerged from behind some trees by the side of the road. Look at you up and at it so early in the morning. Are you here to see me off?
I'm sorry, Nash.
What for? It's only thanks to you that I managed to get this far.
You don't blame me.
For what?
Nash, why are you always like this? Why do you always try to shoulder the burden all on your own? Someone in the garrison just tried to have you killed. And yet, here you are, strolling along merrily as if nothing happened.
That's just how I am.
Just how you are? Disappearing into thin air, leaving only confusion in your wake. That's the reason Julie had to grieve so much. Do you have any idea how much Julie's gone through? How much she's suffered since you killed Zaj on the night before their wedding?
Lena's words evoked memories within me. That day, that night, that moment. It was the day before the wedding between Julie and Zaj. I stood at the threshold to the Latchkey house for the first time in a long while. Honestly, I should have had my arms full with celebratory gifts for the happy couple. If it wasn't for that one thing. You could say I found out by accident. Well, I suppose this may have been unavoidable. Zaj! You! I saw Zaj slip a small gun into his palm, and then Julie opened the door on the other side and came into the room.
Nash!
Lena, I still can't give the reasons for that day. I must keep the truth to myself, because it would simply be too painful for that girl to bear hearing it.
Nash.
The one thing I'll tell you is, Zaj is still alive. That's the only reason I'm returning to Crystal Valley. With Lena lost for words, I turned my back to her and started walking down the road again. Until this is over, I can't tell anyone the truth. No, perhaps not even then. I think that's the end of the chapter. Alright, so that is it for Suikogaiden this week. We'll do the last 2 chapters next week. And then move on to Suikoden 3, which will be very exciting. Because as you all know, it is my favorite Suikoden. So since we have some time left in the usual stream, I think what I will do is close out the stream, stop it briefly, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little Final Fantasy X. I'm really toward the end of the game, so there's not a lot to do but go around and do mini games and quests and stuff, but it's at least something to do for the next hour and a half. All right, so I will see you guys, well, shortly, but before that, I'll see you on Wednesday for more Xenogears. I promise I'll have a full Xenogears stream this time. I was just feeling really not great on Wednesday, or I guess on Thursday, whatever day it was. And then again next Sunday with more of this. All right, so I'll be back in just a minute with some Final Fantasy X.